So the pivotal breakthrough that's necessary, that some company has to come up with to make life multiplanetary is a fully and rapidly reusable orbit-class rocket. This is a very difficult thing to do because we live on a planet where that is just barely possible. If gravity were a little lower, it would be easy. If it was a little higher, it would be impossible. Even for an expendable launch vehicle, where you don't attempt any recovery, after a lot of smart people have done their best to optimize the weight of the vehicle and the efficiency of the engines and the guidance system, everything, you get maybe 2 to 3% of your liftoff weight to orbit. That's not a lot of room for error. So if your rocket ends up being just a little bit heavier, you get nothing to orbit. And this is why only a few countries have ever reached orbit. Now you say, okay, well, let's make it reusable, which means you've got to strengthen the stages. You've got to add a lot of weight, a lot of thermal protection. You've got to do a lot of things that add weight to that vehicle and still have a useful payload to orbit. This is, now you're saying of that meager 2 to 3%, and maybe if you're really good, get it to 4%, you've got to add all that's necessary to bring the rocket stages back to the launch pad and be able to refly them and still have useful payload to orbit. So a very difficult thing. This has been attempted many times in the past, and generally what's happened is when people have concluded that success was not one of the possible outcomes, then the project's been abandoned. Now, we could fail. I'm not saying we're certain of success here, but we're going to try to do it.